Professor Jay, we can start lecture.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so much.
yes. So I welcome Professor Dev Kumar Chakravarti in this class. And Professor Dev Kumar is a renowned scientist of agricultural department. And he had so many, what we say, positions which he has obtained because of his expertise. And he is also a renowned scholar of Jainism, very good command on karma doctrine. So I would request Professor Dev Kumar for delivering his talk on karma and genetic science.
Vandami, Pujit, Saminiji, Jai Janendra, to all the respected scholars. It is my pleasure to, actually I'm involved in teaching on the Komsar Jeev Kand. Karmas Kand is yet to take place. But since Dr. Kachara Saab suggested that I should do so, it was a tough job to pick on that. But anyway, I think I made some headway. Now I'll, without spending more time, I'll just start the sharing of the slide. Can you see the slides?
Yes, we are.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. That's a great news. Is it enough or should I have to expand it further?
You can put it as like a slideshow.
I'll just go to the left. This is 11. Okay, we'll go with 11, then come to 10. Is it okay? Or we'll go with 10?
Yes.
Better start with 10. I
And
think.
then we can go back to the
that's-
10.
That is what I'm thinking. Yeah. I'll just stop this. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to 11 only. I'll better close this.
So this is 10, I think.
I'll better close this so that I'm able to. Because both the frames are open, that maybe there is. Just give me a second. I don't know why so many things are there. I just close this. Is it fine?
Yeah, it is fine. You can
Okay.
enlarge it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Once again, Sada Jai Janet to all of you.
Can you enlarge it? Going to slideshow.
Okay. Actually, it is masking this window.
Slideshow. Yes, slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not visible.
Okay.
It would be better, Suril, can you share?
Okay, we can see the slide now.
But
Is it okay?
no, it is not. It is not visible. Yeah, this time it is coming, but it is very short.
Kindly press on the maximize button.
No, I think I'll better start all over again.
We can share from our side.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is okay.
You can see?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. The first lecture is about some of the aspects of the Karma Siddhant, namely Ashrava, Sattva, and Bandha Tattva of karmas. Ashrava means influx, Sattva, and Bandha means the bondage. Before I do that, I just like to take the opportunity to introduce the authoritative text of Jain Karma Siddhant. I believe it is the unique in the world. It is a treasure of all whatever we have of the original canons. The first and foremost, I would say, is the Shadgandagama. The second Purva called Agrayani Purva is the source of Mahakamma Payadipaguda, from which arose this Agam. Mahakamma Payadipaguda in Sanskrit means Mahakarma Prakriti Praprat. The second original part is the Kashaya Pagoda. The other name is Pecha Dosha Pagoda. Pecha means Priya, Dosha means Dvesh, Praprat. And this has been taken from the fifth Purva called Jnana Pravada. And since these are all very, very original text, and Swami Putapalli has given himself the sixth Shadgandam, sixth Khand, he has in fact given a commentary called Mahadevala, Mahabandho, running into 30,000 slok Praman. This. And then much later, and Davala and Jayadevala were done by Veer Sena Swami and his Shishya Janasen Achari. All the three put together, there are 21, 32 plus 7, 39 printed volumes running into 169,000 slok Praman. Since it is so complex, in 11th century, Acharya Nemichand Siddhanta Chakravarti did a great job of condensing, subliming, and distilling it to get Komsara, Labdisara, and Chapanasara. Then we have another important source called Panchasangraha. It is the same name in both the sects. Svetama Panchasangraha contains 5 books. That names are Shat Karma Praprat, Karma Prakriti, Kasaya Praprata, Shataka, and Saptadika. That is, Shataka means 100 sutras, Saptadika means 70 plus gathas. It has been compiled by His Holiness Chandrarishi Maharaj Sahib. The Digambara Panchasangraha has the extant verses both in Prakrit and Sanskrit, along with his commentaries and Vritti. The compiler of the first original Prakrit Gatha remained anonymous. Other authors are Sarva Sri Acharya Amitakati, Sri Palasuda Datta, Sumati Kirti, and Padmanandi. So if you can see that, we have the original running into 200,000 slok Praman. And this is something I wanted to introduce to our students that they should get involved. These are available now in PDF form. Coming to the influx of the Ashrava, I just wanted to say the gateways of karma influx are of 57 types, 4 major. First and foremost is the false belief or the attitude Midhyatva Darshana, which has got 5 parts: Ekant, Vinaya, Viparit, Samshaya, and Ajnana. So the more of which I think one should read. And the second is the non-restraint or asamyam bhav. Asamyam comes into Indriya Samyam, and pranasaya in both the aspects, that when we fail, we get the influx of karmas. Third, of course, is the cause or the reason is the passions or the kashai, which are of 25, 16 kashai and 9 no kashai. And of course, the gateway is primarily through the yoga, kaya vangmana karma yoga sahasravas. Because of that, we have 15 types of yoga possible. 4 each of mano yoga and 4 each of vachana yoga, for 4 each of mano yoga and vachana yoga, which means satya yoga, asatya yoga, ubhaya yoga, anubhaya yoga, and 7 types of kaya yoga. Not all the kayas will not be, bodies will not be available, but by and large, the total is 57 gateways of karma influx. This is something very interesting that we need to, first 3, false belief, non-restraint, and patience are the something need to be tempered with. The sattva, the other important concept is, once bound, the power of that karma is said to be present until the infusions of this defined karma fall away in the original form. That is nishek. Infusion means the nishek start coming and that arises, and as and when they arise, they disappear. This state is called sattva of karma, which means it is always bedrock of the karma present in the karma sharir. Another example given is sattva is the residence in the soul of the previously accumulated karma, like the collection of grains in the storage silos. So that's what is there. It is sattva in fact dominates bandha almost. Now, when you're talking about sattva or satta, there are 2 types. One is dhruva satta, another is adhru satta. I meant to say, out of the 148 uttar prakritis, some are dhruv and some are adhru. For eternal midya drishti, that is anadi midya drishti, and this dhruva satta is always present. And for adhru satta, which is kind of up and down, and which is it is not an eternal bondage, and therefore it is even the eternal anadi midya drishti also will have adhruva satta of the prakritis. What are the adhru satta prakritis? These are 28 number. Samyaktva, samyak mikthyatva, tirthankara nama karma, Manushyakati, Manushyagatyanapurvi, Devgati, Devgatyanapurvi, Narakati, Narakati. I am sure the students should be familiar with these terminologies. Otherwise, you can always discuss. Narakatyanapurvi, Vaikari of the 7 types, because of the Mishra Sharir also there, and it also got the Sankhad Bandhan. This has to be taken. There are 7 types of Vaikari Prakritis. There are 7 types of Akahar Prakriti, 4 types of Ayukarm and Uchako. All put together, these are the 28. These are Adhruva because they keep on changing. For example, Ayukarm, we know that it has a definite lifespan, so it keeps on changing. So also we have the different, kind of gatis, Devgati, Manushyakati, Narakati, etc., which means that this keeps on. That's why it is Adhruva Satta. Next comes the bondage, bandh. What is bandh? We would rather know in the our world we are living. Bandh is basically a union of one substratum with another. For example, chemical bonding belongs to my discipline. There are 2 types, heterogeneous bonding and homogeneous bonding. For example, physical mixing like milk and water, or solid, bonding like gold and silver, or mercury amalgams. But we are concerned with the binding interactions of a soul with the associated karmic matter. There is another bonding called bandha called Jiv Bandh, wherein an infinite community of souls are bound together by a common body known as Sadharana Sharir. The conscious state to which karma influence is called Bhava Bandh. Now, we all know there are 8 Mool Prakritis, Jnana, Varna, Darshana, Varna, Vedaniya, Mohaniya, Ayu, Nama, Potra, Antraya. But this is in some order it has been kept. It is not a random. For example, the highest attribute of the soul is the knowledge. So the knowledge obscuring karma is placed first, followed by Darshanavarni and Samyak, that is called Darshana Mohaniya, that is Vedani Mohani Karma. But in between, the juxtaposition is Vedani Karma, and it comes because Vedani Karma essentially makes use of the Upayog, Gyan or Darshan Upayog, which cannot be separated from that. And so Vedani Karma in the it is a juxtaposition to show that it is influence of both the three types of Khadi Karma. So which means Vedani Karma really behaves like a Khadi Karma. As we all know, we go through so much of pain and we are unable to come through. Many of the people suffer because of that, because Vedani Karma, the influence mostly more of Mohani Karma. Coming to, for any body, any living thing, they have to have a body. To have the body, you need a Nama Karma. So for before Nama Karma comes, Ayu Karma has to be there. So Ayu Karma is placed first, followed by Nam, Gotra, and Trai. So because Nam Karma, then we get the Gotra Karma. But for the body, I used to say always, you are nobody without a body. So that is the reason Gotra comes in the seventh. Antara Karma is interesting, even though it is a Khadi Karma. Since it is an association with it, it behaves more like a Khadi Karma. It is not destructive. Thank God. Otherwise, we would be really suffering. If it is to be Sarva Khadi Karma, nothing can be done by us. So that is what is placed in the last. I was highly impressed with this classification by the great logician Bhatta Akalang, that his commentary on Tattva Sutra is really Rajavati, it's really royal, Rajavartik, royal commentary. And there he has used the Stanang principle. We know the third Ang is called Tanang, and which bases on the numericals. So he said the karma could be, karma bandha could be 1 in terms of the Dravyartik 9. Without going into details, can be simply 1. It can be 2 in terms of Punya and Pap, meritorious and non-meritorious. It can also be 2 in terms of Dravya Karma and Bhava Karma. It can be 3 in terms of the duration of it. Could be, in some cases, it is the eternal, Anadhyana. It in some cases eternal, but with an end, Anadisant. Or in most other cases, it is with a bandwidth of time, Sadhisant. We'll see some of the examples. 4th categories, of course, he has given is the first sutra of the 8th chapter of the Tattva Sutra, Prakriti, Sthiti, Anubhak, and Pradesh. He has taken. 5th one, of course, is the 5 reason, the hetu, because of the Midya Darshana Avriddhi, Pramada Kashaya Yoga, Bandha Hetava, and he has taken that as the 5th. And 6th is the major tax of living beings. The 6th tax is Shat Jiva Nikai. Taxa it is not tax. The 6th strata that we can look through living beings, and through the Jiva Samaj, we can understand the Karma Bandhan in a different ways. Why there are 6 types of Jiva and why so on like this. So by the expansion of the taxonomy of the souls, we can understand better the diversity of the karmas. 7th, he has placed as the seeds of the sansar, the transmigration. There are 7 seeds, Rag, Dvesh, Moh, and 4 passions, that is Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh. And the 8th, of course, we discussed just how the major classes, the Mool Prakritis. And finally, that he said it is not just a new, we can go on, but it can be finite to infinite. Finite in terms of description of words, and it can be asankhya, countless in terms of the atyavasai, indulgence. There it can be infinite in terms of the karma skand, karma molecules, or further in terms of the avibhak prasishet, that is indivisible units of the Jnana and Darshana, or Jnana and Darshana. So it is very interesting. I would rather take 2 types, that is, virtue and sin will take in the next lecture, substratum and quality. Substratum and quality, Dravya Karma and Bhava Karma. Dravya Karma is actually the root cause of the origin of all living bodies is called Dravya Karma. And the 8 types of Karma Skanda are Dravya Karma Varganas. Bhava Karma is the the influence of Dravya Karma on the soul, the bound soul, the falsehood, ignorance, and non-restraint, but we saw in the case of gateways of the influx. So when we talk about, we all know the 148 karmas can be divided in, or 8 mole karmas can be divided into 4, khadi karma and akhadi karma. That I said earlier, which you all know about it. Out in the, among the khadi karma, there is further division called sarvakhati and deshkhati. Sarvakhati is the one which completely blocks the realization of self. What are they? Kevala jnanavarna, darshanavarna karma, that is kevala darshanavarna, 5 nidras, 5 sleeps. These are the, then we have in the Mohini karma, anantanubandhi, the quartet, that is Krodh, Man, Maya, Lok. Apratyakanavarana quartet, same about Pratyakanavarana quartet of anger, ego, conceit, and avarice, and followed by Mityatva. Mityatva is Darshan Mohini. So we have that 20, and it is Bandha. When we talk into Anubhaga Bandha, it is 20. When you are talking about the Udaya, this Samyak Mityatva is also included as Sarvakhati. So that is 21. Deshakati is the one which allows us to function, which completely does not block our upayog, Gyan Darshana upayog, and that is what, for example, the Deshakati har, that's why it is Trayobhisami Gyan, Mati Srutavati Manaparya, Jnanavarnikam, which allows the from the Chatmasas to get this knowledge. It is a Trayobhisami Gyan. Same Chakshu, Achakshu, Avadi, Darshana, 3 of them, again is possible till we reach salvation. Mogniya Sancholana, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lok, then Asya, Rati, Arati, Shok, Bhaya, Yugupsa, Sri, Purusha, Napumsaka, Veda, which means we have 9 plus 4, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Right. It is actually should be 13, right? Okay. 9 plus 4 is 13. There's some error there. Then we have 5 Antarai. All the Antarai karmas are Deshakhati. That's what I was telling you. We are able to maneuver because Antarai karma is not completely blocking our movement, our expressions. So that's all. So we have the Khati karma of 47. Out of that 20 is the Sarvakhati, and this 25 are the Deshkhati, and the Akhati karmas are 101. When you look at 3 types, Anadi Ananta, Anadi Sant, and Sadi Sant, which means that some karmas like Midyatva can be all the time present in Udaya. That is the first Gunasthan for the Midya Drishti. And particularly so for above age souls. They never raise beyond first Gunasthan. So that is Midyatva Darshan, that Midyatva Prakriti is all the time present. So it is Anadi Anant, beginningless and endless. Anadi Sant is the for the Bhavya souls that it will be Anadi, but it has the end. So once the Bhavya souls, they are able to break the shackle and they are able to create the termination of this karma. And so it is Anadi Sant for the worthy Bhavya souls who will definitely reach for salvation. Not all Bhavya souls, but those. Sadi Sant is the bandwidth of duration, and both the ends, it starts and ends. The classical case I would get is the Ayu Karma. Ayu Karma has got a definite period. It starts with that, it ends with that. And like that, there are many Uttara Prakritis. And when I said 3, that is Dravya Karma, Bhava Karma, and 3rd is the No Karma. No Karma is new to many people. It is a very interesting concept. That is out of the 23 types of Varganas, the Karman, Bash, Mano, and Tejas Vargana, if you remove, there are 19 Karma Vargana, 19 Varganas. They all work as no Karma Varganas, which is a enabling environment wherever you are then. So what is no Karma? It is the Karma which is, the Karma is what is accrued through the deployment of 3 yogas, whereas no karma are the physical body, biomaterials, etc., born from the rise of karma, which helps in the pleasures and pains of the soul. Of course, there's a difference between karma and no karma, also in terms of the duration, sthiti. So, for example, the 8 types of no karma dravya for 8 mool prakriti are, respectively, a veil of cloth will not allow us to see what it is, or the door, which will not allow us to make a darshan of that, or sword, which has got both sides sharpness. So, vedani karma sada vedani asada vedani. One side is the honey, other side is the bitterness, or the liquor, alcohol, intoxicant alcohol is like a mohani karma. Then ayu karma, food is very important. Without food, and we cannot really survive. And for nama karma, body is very important. And that is Audarik Sharir or Vaikari Sharir. And the Gotra karma for the status, high and low body, the status, etc. And usually for Antaray karma, the middleman is suggested to blocks our benefit. For example, those days, the king may give you gift, but to get from the store, treasurer is something, treasury is an important point like that. So Antaray karma functions. But we have in Komatasar in Davla Granth, for even for each of the Uttar Prakriti they have given us. For example, Madhi Gyan, that the no karma could be an object which prevents us from seeing further. That could be a curtain. Similarly, Sruta Jnana, acquiring Sruta Jnana can be disturbed or disrupted if one indulges in sensual pleasures. So either he has to choose between these two. And the visual and mental knowledge, that is with Avadi Jnana and Manapari Jnana, which is very important. There was a discussion even in Komatasar class, why we are not getting Avadi Jnana. The Sanklesh is a major cause. Mental afflictions, worries, is not able to make us to graduate further. Then Darshanavani Karma, for example, the 5 types of sleep, we can put in easily someone to sleep with a tranquilizer, composer, etc., or curd, fatty foods, etc., are the aiding in the arisal of the sleep, those karmas. Pleasure and the other non-pleasure seeking karma, that is Vedani. So good news or bad news can really aggravate that. Good food, good drink, etc. So this really actuates the problem part of it. Samyukta Prakriti will be better served, that is to say, when we have 6 types and we are associated with 6 types of ayatana, arga, their images, pratima, scriptures, and preceptors. Then Mithyata Prakriti will be helped and Anantanupanti are helped by the exactly the opposite of those ayatanas or anayatanas. The 12 passions and 8 new passions that are aroused by perverse poetry, drama, pulp literature, novels, videos, and wrongful company. And 4 obstructive karmas, they really deny the opportunities for us. Many of our people shine very well in USA or elsewhere because of the opportunity, lack of opportunities. So that is what is the state. So okay, we'll come to that point to say how the change of place is to overcome this problem. The power of obstructive viryantra karma can be accentuated or exasperated with undernourishment, lack of social support, etc. So in three types of sex inducers, seeing the bodies of opposite gender with evil intent, use of sex stimulators, alcohol, etc. You know that so much in the society going on nowadays. Indulgence, rati, celebratory mood. You can always be with the near and dear ones. You can always be celebrating. The rati karma, Udaya is much higher and better. Asya, comic books, TV shows. Arati, loss of dear ones, money and sad news, etc. Fear or insecurity, the pandemics, wild animals, pests, pathogens, diseases, death, etc. They're always harping on us and the fear is always there. The lifespan is better done by enabling environment, nutritious food, and family. So one can have a better lifespan really spent because of this supporting point. Then we have, one second. Oh, I'm unable to read this. Just 1 second. I think I'll be able to. Yeah. So now Dhruv Bandhani and Adhruv Bandhani. Out of this 148 karmas, some are always bound, Dhruv Bandhani. The karma prakriti, which is definitely bound due to its cause, is called Dhruv Bandhani. Such prakriti keeps bound itself to every living being from time to time till its bondage is severed or Bandha Vichyuti. Bandha Vichyuti is related to Gunasthan. Nama karma prakritis of color, small, taste, touch, and Taijasa, Karmana, Aguru, Lagu, Nirman, Upakhat, Karma are all Dhruv Bandhani. What does it mean? We always, as long as we have a body, these karmas are always present. Moni karma, fear, I already said, fear is a major company for us. Aversion, Mityat, and 16 types of Kashai always are there in one form or another. And 5 Dhyana Varnikam, and 9 Dashna Varnikam, and 5 Antaraya. This is another total of 47 Dhruv Bandhani, which means always present in us till we go to the Bandha Vichyuti level. Adhruv Bandhani Prakriti, which may not bind despite the cause of bondage, is called so. These are 73 in number. 47 plus 73 will be 120. Out of this, it composes of 58 Nama Karma, 2 Gotra Karma, 4 Ayu Karma, 2 Vedani, and 7 No Kashai. Unlike Dhruv Bandhani Prakriti, the non-Dhruv Bandhani Prakriti does not have an all important, all permanent bondage, even till the time of separation, which is not all the time bound. I just read from very good part Karma Vigyan. Is there any problem?
So
Can it be muted, please?
participants are muted.
JVE Te Bandai, this rule operates, that is to say, as long as there is an opportunity for the karmodaya of a particular karma, there is a corresponding opportunity for the bondage bandh. Now we have another classification. It comes under the 3, Nirantar Bandhi, Santar Bandhi, and Udaya Bandhi. We saw the 47 Dhruv Bandhi Prakritis. In addition, Tirthankara Nam Prakriti, Ahara Dvik, that is Agar Sharir and Agar Angopang, Ayu 4. These 57 Prakritis are constantly binding. They keep on, that is, once they start binding, they keep on binding it. That is true. That is the way. After the bondage of the Ahara dual and Tirthankara Prakriti has begun in a particular Gunasthan, it will continue uninterruptedly for a period of time longer than the Antarmod. Tirthankara Nam Mahapunya Karma, once it starts binding, it will go on beyond Antarmod time as long as it is in a particular Gunasthan. That is 4th onwards, 4th Gunasthan onwards. There is a continuous bondage of Ayu Karma from the time when it is worthy of bondage till 1 Antarmod. Ayu Karma also, when it start binding, it will bind till 1 Antarmod. If it does not bind, is a different thing. That is one Nirantar Bandhi. Santara Bandhi, the Prakriti that takes a break in bondage during the bondage of the opposite is called so. For example, Naraka 2, Naraka Gati, Naragatyana Purvi, Eka Indri, Tvindri, Triindri, Chaturindriya, that is 4 sensed, up to 4 sensed karma prakritis. 5 samananas without the first samanana, 5 sanstan without the first sanstan. Aprashasta Vihayukati, Atab, Udyos, Stavara 10. These are the, Stavara karmas are 10. Asada Vetaniya, Napunsaka Vet, Sri Vet, and Arati and Shoka are the 34 prakritis. These are up and down. That is a break, they will continue, there will be break, and so on. Udaya Bandhani are the 32, that is Deva 2, Devgati, Devgatyanapuri, Manushya, it should be 2, Thirenja 2, Avdarik 2, Vaikriga 2, Prasasta Vihayagati, Vajravashvanaraj Samanan, Parakat, Uchvas, samsthan, panchendri jati, tras, there we saw stavar, here trasa das, sata vetani, asya rati, purusha vet, potra namakarma 2. These 32 behave dually. That is to say, they are intermittently bound while the counterpart is active, but are continuously bound when the counterpart bonding is destroyed. So it's up and down because the counterpart is always there. Stavar, for example, isn't it? Each one, Sata, Vedane. So like this, there are opposite. Pratipaksha are there. Deva 2, Vaikre 2, and Uchakotra is intermediate up to the second Gunasthan, but continues in the further Gunasthan. Also in the Bhogabhumi, Jivas. These are the things we get it from Davla. Now, 4 types I already mentioned: species, duration, fruition, and the space points of the karma. That's it, Prakriti, Anubhag, and Pradesh. And that is the 4 types. And I think Professor Kacharasa would have covered this, that Prakriti, Sthiti, Anubhag, and Pradesh, how it is happening. I will not get into it. So we see, as we go through the Karma Siddhant, the driving force is not yoga per se, because Kevali, Sayo Kevali is not binding karmas. It is the passions. So we have Sattva Sutra teaching us, Sakashayatvat Jivaha Karmano Yogyan Puttalan Adatte Sa Bandha. He puts it nicely. That is, the precondition is it has to be kashay, colored. Okay. Now this is the kind of graphical presentation. The soul actuated by passions attacks working of matter, which are fit to turn into karmic bondage. Just as this digestive process enables various types of absorption of food, so also the soul attracts karmas of various duration and fruition corresponding to the virulent to moderate nature of the passions. The coloring is the passions. Just as the brewing a mixture of several ingredients during fermentation produces intoxicating alcohol, so all the subtle matter of infinite Paramanus pervading the same space point occupied by the soul gets interpenetrated with the space points of this cell. This is Pradesh Bandh. There could be so much of discussion on that. One should read Sarvar Siddhi for example. Then we have the Sthiti Bandh. I just want to make a mention that maximum duration, minimum duration, that also depends on who gets the maximum duration, who gets the minimum duration at what stage, depending on the Gunasthan and the Karma Prakriti. We have Jnanavarnya, Darshanavarnya, Vedaniya, and Antaray. All of them got a maximum of 13 to 10 power 14 sagar. 10 power 14 is Kota Koti. And the minimum is 1 Antarmot, excepting Vedani, which has got 12 Antarmot. What I find, I utilized it, I applied this Vedani karma. When I am sad, I'll wait for this 12 Antarmot to pass by. Very silent. Then there will be some accompanying and that Vedani karma disappears. This is the trick we need to follow, because Vedani karma, if it is even sad, our happiness cannot last more than 12 Antarmot. That is the minimum part of it, right? Maximum is if I am entertaining that. Then Mohini Karma, especially Darshan Mohini Karma, is 70 into 10 power 14. And Ayu Karma is 33, very specific case in the Anuttara Viman as well as 7th hellish beings. Then Nama Karma, again I said, is 20 into 10 power 14. Both the Karma is also equally same. Both of them minimum duration is 8 Antarmok. Abstract, that is Viryantara, Antaray Karma is of same thing as I said, 30 into 10 power 14. Just for comparison, I want to show that half-life of proton is 1.67 into 10 power 34 years. Half-life of electron is 6.6 into 10 power 24 years. So there's some sort of comparison in the bondage that it takes quite a energy to break them. Now, if we make a comparison, some notes about Bandha, Udaya, and Sat Prakritis. In terms of bondage, 120 are reckoned. Respectively, 5, 9, 2, 26, 4, 6, 7, 2, and 5. What are they? Jnanavan, Darshanavan, Vedane, Mohane, Ayu, Nam, Kotra, and Antarai are 120. The 26 karmas are, that is not, it is a Abhed Roop, which means, and I'll come to the last one to show that point. The total number of Prakritis that operates in Udaya is 122. That is 28 instead of 26 in Mohani Karma Prakritis that operate. Yeah, there it was 26, 28 in Udaya. Samyak to Samyak Vidyat that operates. And the Sattva, all the 148 are taken into account. And in Sattva, it is in Bedru that we took a quartet of color, smell, taste, and touch, which are expanded to have it as 20. And the 5 bodies, Sharir, we have absorbed that 5 bandhanas and 5 sankhat, and they are expanded, so it is 148. Mutually exclusive prakritis, that is overriding paravartan mana, that is these karmas override the opposite karmas in terms of binding array, that is Udaya and both. What are they? There are 64. Satavetan, Asavetan, a pair, 3 Vedas, 4 no Kashaya. That is Hasya, Rati, Arati, Avashan. 5 sensory species, we know 5 Jati, we call them. 6 Samsthana, Sim Samanan, 4 Anupurvi, 4 Gati, Audarik and Vaikarika pair, 2 Gotra Karma, Audarik and Vaikarika Angopang, Trasadi 10. And Vihayokati, which means this one, if Satavetani is in the rise, Asata will not be able to come. Out of the 3 genders, only 1 will operate. Like that, we can, out of the 5 sense job series, only 1 sense will come into picture. Like that, we can see that these are all mutually exclusive. The other category is Apara Vartaman, concurrent in the sense they occur all together. For example, earlier I said also, Madhi Srudavadi Manapariye, Jnanavand Karma can be operating along with Kevala Jnanavand, can operate together. And Dashnavani Karma, all the 3, Chakshu, Achakshu, and Avadi, and Kevala Dashnavani, they all operate together. They block our reach. Mohani Karma Swe Bhai, Jugupsan Midyat are the one Aparavat. And Nama Karma or Varnadi Chatush, 4 ones, that is, for that quartets, Taijasa, Karma, Shari, Ragurlagu, Nirman, Upakat, Parakat, Ushwas, and Tetanganama Karma. Antaraya are the 5, which means this Aparavatana, they can be co-occurring. They don't have the conditions. So with this, I conclude my small presentation. I must offer my obeisance to Sruta Parampara, Tirthankar, Kavalis, Ganadhar, Srutadhars, who have preserved and passed on this knowledge. But for this, we will not be making headway. It's a unique gift. And I must say this disclaimer, I have no original contribution in this presentation. Any errors, if they are present, are due to my incompetence and negligence. I request you to make good of them. Last but not the least, I thank Professor Chamaniji and Professor N.L. Kachara Saab for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Jai Jain.
Thank you, Professor Devkumar. You have presented second time and explained everything very well. Things are quite clear, and you have given the example of current situation to understand the prakritis of karmas. So I would request to all the participants, if they have some questions, there are some questions in chat. So first I want to read those questions, and then we can take the questions from the participants.
Swamiji, would it not be better that we request Professor Dev Kumar to present the next lecture also, and then we have questions?
Okay, so Professor Devkumar, would you like to take some questions, or you want to continue the talk?
I think we can continue so that they can have time to think over. There is one question, of course, on Dhruv Bandhani of Nama Karma. We'll take it up, I think, if there are more questions, because the questions can always come. It is not limited to only this session. So we can always do that file. So I'll just go to the next one.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'll just close this. I already stopped, so it can close. Yes. Can you see this?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
just you can enlarge it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Where is that slide? Show. I think I am having. Yeah, now I can do it. Is it okay?
No, it is not okay.
No, okay. I'll just go to the
It is
slideshow
not-
there.
Yeah, it is not full.
I'll come to that. The slideshow, I'm not able to. Okay, I think it'll be on. Is it okay?
It is, can you share in another way in which you have presented the first talk?
I'll just see. I'll just start again.
Yes.
Always if and but. Yeah.
Now this is the right way. Yes.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, now it is fine.
Yeah, always some antarai. Yeah.
No, no, no.
I honestly didn't have much time to prepare this, but I think we'll just see. So I like to pick up the other two aspects. Of course, there are more aspects like Samvar, Nijara, and Moksha, but I will just say Udaya and Vipaka of the karmas. The two aspects of it. So what is the Udaya, Karmodaya, but more that is given in terms of Dravya Karmodaya. The rise of karma, that is the auspicious or inauspicious karma earned by the soul, which remain imprinted on its Atma Pradesh, reach the mature condition after the completion of the duration of storage and disperse, giving fruits to the soul. This is the rise of karma. Very simplified way of explanation. After the crossing of the Abada Akal incubation period, they start coming up one and again. That is the Udaya. It occurs in the material world depending on the place, time, and state of the soul. So this Udaya, just like seasonal fruits, it also depends on the Kshetra, Kal, and Bhav of the soul. In the rise of karma, the expressions of the soul may be affected or afflicted by the rising karma prakriti. It is quite possible we may get influenced by this. Bhav Karmodaya, I take it as a pleasure, a privilege to pick up some gathas from Sri Samesara. Erroneous knowledge of the nature of substances in the self is the rise of nuisance, agyan. Agyan ka udaya se, we make an error in the judgment of it. Flawed conviction in soul and non-soul substances is the rise of wrong belief, midya. Tendency not to abstain from sensual pleasures is the rise of non-restraints, asamya bhava. Indulgence in perverted passions like anger, etc. is the rise of passions, kashaya. Threefold activities, that is body, mind, and speech, whether meritorious or otherwise, involved or uninvolved, is the rise of yoga. So that is what Samesara nicely talks about Bhava Karmodaya. It is because of the influence of the Dravya Karmodaya. Again, in the Udaya Prakritis, we have two categories called Dhruv Udaya and Adhruv Udaya. Dhruv Udaya is the Prakriti whose rising is uninterrupted. That is the Prakriti which continues to rise at every instant till its duration of rise is called so. Once it starts rising, it uninterrupted goes. The total is 27. Adhru Udaya Prakriti, the Prakriti whose rise does not remain continuous till the end of its rise duration. Sometimes it rises, sometimes it doesn't. That is the one which does not have the rule of rise even in the rising dissolving period, Vipaka period. It's called Udaya Vichita Kal, Vicheda Kal. Even that time also it is erratic. So their total is 95. Why 95? His total is 120. So we have 27 Dhruv and remaining is Adhruv. What are Dhruv? 27. Jnana Varne Karma, the Karma 5. Dashna Varne 4. Chakshu Avadi Kevala Dashna Varne. The sleeps are excluded here because sleep, it is not permanent. Otherwise, we'll be sleeping all the time. Mogni is Midyat. Nama Karma are 12. It is always there. Nirman, Sthir, Asthir, Agurlagu, Shubh, Ashubh, Tejas, Karman, Sharir, Varna, Gant, Ras, and Sparsha Nama Karma is always associated with the body. Antaraya are 5. So these are the 27. 120 minus 27 becomes 122 minus 27, rather it becomes 95. Vasana Kal is a very important point. Actually, this is a good practice. In my younger days in my village, the Purva Sandhya, Pongal ke Purva Sandhya mein, people go to each house and invite them and dissolve all the differences. Because we need to dissolve and resolve the kashai, which comes through in workplaces. The duration of the disappearance of traces of rancor, etc., despite the absence of rise, is called the Vasana Kal, which reminds, just like rain is over, but still that we have that drizzling going on. Like a man who had rage at the time he engaged in some action, his anger has subsided. Now there is no arise of the anger, but the retracing exists because there are no feelings of forgiveness in his mind towards the one he is angry with. So Vasana Kal with respect to 4 types quarters of Kashai. For Sanchalana Kashai, it is only Antarmurt. Okay. And Pratyakyanavaran Kashai is only 1 fortnight. Apratyakyanavaran Kashai is 6 months. And what is called? That's right. Anantanubandhi, 6 months to countless years. Okay. And Anantanubandhi runs into infinite bus. The classic case is the soul of the Parshvanath Bhagwan with Marubhuti and Kamat. It ran into many infinite bus. So one should dissolve and resolve the differences, forgive and forget. That is what the important point of the Vasana Kal. How can a karma be good or bad? The karma per se, the activity which is performed with good intention is good. Therefore, the distinction is not based on the activities being the cause. Therefore, intentions are all important, but not activities per se. Guided by this principle, the intent of mind, speech, and body alone or in combination determines the net accrual and bondage of karma. Bhavanam Bhavavinasini. From the real point of view, it is no doubt true that all activities are undesirable, as every kind of activity is the cause of influx and bondage. But from the empirical point of view, there is this difference of apparent good and bad. That is what is the point of that. Then we have the Udaya, another classification called Swamukha Udaya, Paramukha Udaya. Karma sometimes gives results in his own form, and sometimes in other forms of Prakriti, it gives. The Prakriti which emerges in its own form is called Swamukhodaya, and the Prakriti which emerges in the form of other Prakriti is called Paramukhodaya. Paramukhodaya, yes. For example, the classic case is the anger. As anger rising, the form of anger is Swamukhodaya, but it can also be rising in terms of ego, etc. It's called Paramukhodaya. Anger in the quartet, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh can be just flipping the calendar. The Prakriti which does not arise, its rise fertilizing condition gets transformed in the penultimate. In case if Prakriti is not rising and its time is over, in the last penultimate instant, it becomes a Paramukodaya. Svodaya, Parodaya, and Ubaya Bandhi Prakriti. We have brought Bandhi here, Bandh, it should have been there, but never mind. Because it is related to Udaya. So Udaya, Parodaya, and Ubaya Bandhi. Tirthankar, Aharak 2, Vaikari 6, Narakai and Devai bind in Parodaya. Very important point. They don't bind during Udaya. They don't bind during, when Tirthankar Bhagwan is there, Tirthankar Nam Punya is in Udaya, he doesn't bind that karma. So, and also for Tirthankar Punya to get binding to happen, it has to be Parodaya. Very interesting. Jnanavarnya 5, Antaraya 5, Darshanavanya 4, Tejas body, Karma Sharir, Nirman, Sthir Yugal, Sthir Asthir, Shubha Yugal, Shubha Ashub, and Varan Chatushk, that 4 types of Varan, color, taste, smell, and touch. Agurulavu and Midhyatva, these 27 Prakritis bind with Svodaya. They do it themselves. Their bondage takes place only when they rise themselves, but they rise even in the absence of bondage. The rising Udaya may take place, bonding is not a must, but they bind among themselves only. When the rising takes place, they bind. But it has to be, rising has to be there. The Udaya ke samay mein ek karma bandhan hota hai. Because usi time pe we get upset actually. Remaining 82 are bound by Swa Para Udaya. In case where there is the rise of opposite of the inherent Prakriti is possible, then, and where there is the rise of the antagonist is not possible, and there is the bondage of the self, and where there is the rise of the antagonist, there is the bondage of Parodaya. When the opposite is rising, it is Parodaya, but is not rising, then it's Svodaya. I just told you earlier, there is a conventional counting of the Udaya Prakritis. So usually they just leave out 4 Varnas, 4 Rasas, 1 smell, and 7 touches, 5 bonds, and 5 collisions. These 27 Prakritis are not considered separately in the case of the count of Udaya. Smell has to be 2, sorry, not 1. I do not know, there's an error. The remaining 120 Prakritis are reckoned for use. That is, Abhed Rup se, they take it as 122 because these are not taken into account as a specific case. That I quoted Kumsar Karma Kand for this, Panchasankraka Prakrit version of that part. Karma arises due to influence of place, material, feed, etc. This again, possibly I'm repeating it. It is the, just like agriculture, there has to be season. For fruits also season, flowers also season. The Karma Prakriti also get, Vipaka hota hai, Pakna hota hai, only during that is influenced by Kshetra, Kal, and Bhav. The situation which takes place by taking the shelter of Kshetra, Bhav, Kal, and Putkal matter is called Udirana, and Udaya is the Udaya decay is called Udaya, of course. So when the Udirana to take place, it's something like, we just take the mango, we make it, ripen. Ripening a mango is a classic case of Udirana, but not because of karma, but similarly, this Kshetrakal Bhav and influence in inducing Udirana. The question is, why all the karmas do not rise all the time? Thank God, again, it is not the case. It will be very difficult for us to manage all the karmodaya. There is a concept called Prak Abhav. Prak Abhav is an inhibitory condition against the rise of a Dravya Karma. You should read the Atma Mimamsa, beautiful description. And unless it is removed, that condition is removed, Udaya will not occur. Dravya, place, time, and birth are the influential factors of overcoming the Prak Abhav, the inertia. Some rules regarding karma rise. Mool Prakriti rise on their own, but the Uttara Prakriti may do it. Swamukh or Parmukh. The Ayu karma is non-transferable. That is a very important point. We cannot carry our Ayu karma to next birth or vice versa. There is no transmutation between Charitra Mogni and Darshana Mogni. That's very again important. It cannot be exchanged. Sarvakadi may rise as Deshakadi, but not the other way. Deshakadi will not rise as Sarvakadi, but Sarvakadi has the capacity to come rise as Deshakadi. The rise of lower order of Charitra Mogni karma always occurs in the higher order, because that is always the case. The higher orders get a lot of things. When the Anantanubanti, all the other Kashayas, they do rise. Inevitable categories in the bondage and rise of some karma. Midhyatva Prakriti is unique in its rise. It rises only in the first Gunastan, that we said earlier also. Mutually opposing Prakritis may have Sattva together, but not Bandha. For example, in hellish life, lower sense organisms are not harbored. Jo Naraki Sharir mein, lower organisms are not found. There are many such examples. I'm just coming to about this Audaik Bhav. There are 5 bhavas. Tattva Sutra, second chapter, first sutra. But we are talking about Audaik Bhav only. That which arises from the rise of karma is called Audaik Bhav. Udaya say Audaik Bhav. There are 21 types of Audaik Bhav, 4 Kashai, 3 genders, Midya Darshana, Ajnan, Asamyam, Asiddha Bhav, and 6 Leshyas. So, if you see that, we can be making a self-audit of it. How much of that Audaik Bhav we are having at any given time. That is the part of it. Each soul has this Audaik Bhav is there out of 21. Asiddha Bhav is all, we all have the Asiddha Bhav. Out of 6 Leshyas, this will be up and down. Asamyam is the, most of the Grahasthas have. Agyan, of course, Mithyadarshana, etc. Earlier in the lecture, I picked up the one table of logician Bhatta Kalang Sthanang way of it. I'm impressed with the Pancha Sankara of the Chantrishi Mahata. He has also given Vargikaran. So I think most of them we have covered it. It is interesting actually. So in the Bandha Prarupana Adhikar, he has given it. It's again very educative. So for example, their complementary pairs, Sarvakhati and Deshakhati, we already seen. Dhruvabandhani, Adhruvabandhani, Dhruvodaya and Adhruvodaya, Shubh and Ashubh, that is Punya and Pap, we will see in the next slide onwards. Paravartamana and Aparavartamana, Savipaki and Avipaki. And the Vipak, when we come to that, Avipaki and Savipaki. Tapasa Nijaracha. So we need to really bring out the bound karmas by doing the kind of penance, Savipaki, Avipaki coming on its own way of it. Santara, Nirantara, we have done Anadi Sadi, we have seen Pratipaksh and Apratipaksh, I think we have seen earlier. So, I think since the intermediate part of is Punya, we are all in such a Punya. What constitutes Punya? That which purifies the soul or by which the soul is purified is merit. Because the Sarvar Siddhi uses such a language. This is stated in terms of fruition of the karma. Sadvete Shubhayur Nama Potrani Punyam. So Sata Vetaniya, Shubhayu, Shubha Nam and Shubha Kotra. These are the Punyam. The good variety of feeling producing karma, that is Sata Vetaniya, and the auspicious life, auspicious Nam Karma, and auspicious status, determining the karma's constitute merit. I would urge our people to read Tattva Sutra along with Sarvar Siddhi commentary on this chapter 6. How we earn punya, how we earn apunya, pap. And we should, so that we get educated very well, we avoid creating pap. I wanted to show some slides, but I thought I would urge you to do that one. Predominantly, human and celestial life enjoy these karmas. The auspicious nama karmas required for these two gatis aligned together accordingly. That is a very interesting point of it. Punya Prakriti, 37 auspicious Nama Karmas. That is human state of existence, the celestial state of existence, either case. The class of beings with 5 senses, Panchendri Jati, the 5 bodies, 3 chief and secondary parts of the body is Angopang, the symmetrical structure of the body, Samachatur Sansthan, the utmost firmness of the joints, Vajra Vishapanarasha Samanan, pleasant color, taste, odor, and touch. 2 Anupurvis related to Manushikati and Devakati, capacity for breathing, which is important. Neither heavy nor light, that is Aguru Lagu, liability of being injured by others. Parkat, emitting a warm splendor. Udyot, emitting a cold luster. Atap, graceful gait, etc. I think that English, Hindi one you can see. Mobile grass body, okay, that is Vihayogati. Complete development of the organs, Paryapti, and the faculties of the body, possession of an individual body, Pratyek Sharir. That is development of the organs and faculties together, it go Paryapti. Firmness of the bodily frame, beauty of the body, charm, melodious voice, lustrous body, glory and renown, the formation of the body with the parts in the right places, Nirman, the status of Tirthankara, Uchakot, and pleasant feelings, Sata Vetani, these are the Punya Prakritis. So, that is, these are 42 actually, total. There are 82 Papa Prakritis, and certainly 47 Khati Karma take their lion's share. There are 37 Nama Karmas, whatever we said that the otherwise infernal state of existence, animal state of existence, etc. And the Vikalendriyas, the 5 kinds of structure of the body except in the first, the 5 kinds of joints except in the first, inauspicious color, odor, taste, and touch, etc., etc. These are all given here. And pleasant feeling to the Sada Vedani, the infernal lifestyle, that is Naraka life, Karma, Naraka Karma, low plus Nichakot. So these are the opposite. That's what I was telling. We need to look at it. We should not be earning these 82 Papa Karmas, Aprasta Karmas. 42 are the Prashasta Karmas. Now coming to the next part of the lecture is Vipaka or Fruition. That is, what is Vipaka is the fruition. Vishesha Vishishta Pak. Pak is cooking, right? Vishesha ripening. Vipak is the fruition that is ripening or maturing of the karmas. It is both distinct and variegated. It is distinguished by influx of intense or mild passions. That is what in Vipak is influenced by the passions actually. The different types of ways of fruition depend on the intensity of passions which cause influx. When we are doing the Ashrava, what was the feeling we had, the passion, how we have been intoxicated depends. When it is Vipak, it really reflects on. These are assisted by difference in substance, space, time, and being, incarnation, and disposition constitute Vipak. This is called Anubhav, Anubhav or Anubhav. So again, I said Vipak naturally ripening depends on the environmental conditions. So that is what is said. From abundance of auspicious thought activity, there is fruition bondage of abundance of auspicious karma, and there is fruition bondage of very little inauspicious karma, and vice versa. As an example, this has been stated. The nature of fruition is according to the names of the karmas. That is Prakriti actually. The fruition and above is as per the Prakriti. The fruit of knowledge covering karma, that is Jnanavan, is absence of knowledge. We all know. The effect of perception covering karma is to block perception, so on, which we know it. It can be either natural or forced through penance. That is Savipak, Avipak. Penance spelling, I need to correct it. The fruition is conditioned by Utvartana, augmentation, Apavartana, attenuation, and Sankramana, transmutation. The latter happens in the 4 types of bondings. That is Prakriti Sthiti, Anubhav, Pradesh. Fruition follows the rise of premature release of the bonded karmas. Because the Savipak Nichara, that Udirna precedes the Udaya. After fruition, The karmas fall off or disappear after giving pain or pleasure. It's a withering, as these cannot stay on after fruition at the end of the duration. Most of you will be knowing this. So again, the repetition, the enabling factors of the fruition of karma, all karma prakriti, dravya, place, time, bhav, and bhav. Karma becomes worthy of fruition for three reasons. Udirna by themselves or by other, and by both the self and the other. We talked about swa and par. In other words, because of man's own negligence, mistake or ignorance or lack of skills and knowledge, this can happen. Secondly, because of the natural environment or some other cause. Thirdly, because of the combined cause of both self and other, Vipaka gets a chance to arise. It is influenced by circumstances, environment, specific reasons. For example, the Aussie, no kashai will become a kashai if it goes beyond a time. Suppose the two friends are talking, by inadvertently they just arouse the passion, anger in the other person. So that is what is Udirna will come into the picture. And also in the kind of it, in the love making also Udirna comes into picture. Hetu Vipak. Karma makes a living being's experience his own nature according to his own power and through one reason or the other. From these 2 points of view, there are 2 types of karma vipak, Hetu Vipak and Rasa Vipak. In the Hetu Vipak, karma is controlling Putkal, place, birth, and the bonded soul coming into Vipak are factored in. Thus, it is a force of types: Jiv Vipaki, Kshetra Vipaki, Bhava Vipaki, and Putkal Vipaki. What is Jiv Vipaki? The Prakritis whose consciousness are in the body in the form of a being are called being conscious. That is Jiv Vipaki. The karmas causing the 2 types of feeling, that is Vedaniya, Gotra, 47 types of Khadi Karma, together become 51. Adding 27 body-making subclasses given below, the total becomes 78. These are soul-maturing karmas. This is to say, these karmas, when they come into Vipak, it comes in the Jiv Pradesh. They are about the Bhav, Jiv Bhav. Tetankara, respiration, the pairs of grass body, Bhadara, capacity of full development, Paryap, sweet voice, Suswara, excuse me, impressive appearance, Ade, good name bringing Yashash, mobile Thrasha, graceful motion, Vihayogati, amical personality, Subhaga, the 4 conditions of existence of the Gati, the 5 genus of beings, Jati, are the 27 soul maturing karmas. In other ways to say, however much science may do, we may not be able to do the Darwin's theory here. We cannot convert one sensed organism to 2 sensed, and so on like this. This is what it means. Jai Jinendra, Shamakarna. Putkul Vipaki is the one has been attracting me, because these Putkul Vipakis are basically materials, biomaterials. So they can be transplanted, transfused, kind of repaired. So much of bioengineering is taking place because of this capability of Putkul Vipaki. Putkul Vipaki is a no karma actually. So with the result, the DNA, etc., enzymes, so on like that, we know so much is happening because of Putkal Vipaka is amenable to bioengineering, genetic engineering, all the medical profession, etc. We can treating by medicines, etc., repair. These are 62 in number. 5 bodies, 5 molecular bondage Bandhan, 5 molecular infinite fusion Sankat, some stans, 6 stans, 6 Samanan, 3 Angopang, 20 color, smell, taste, and touch, Nirman, Atap, Udyot, Sthir, Asthir, Shubh, Ashubh, Pratek, Sadharan, Agrulagu, Pakat, and Parkat. Which means that the 12 that we have already talked about Nirman, Atap, they are all the 12, and the color also, they're always present in any body. During fruition, only 36 karma practices would be effective. This I got it, but I just forgot about it. I told you about 12 Dhruv with Udaya. Dhruv Bandhani, both, that is Prakritis of Nama Karma, namely Nirman, Sthir Asthir, Agru Lagu, so yeah, auspicious, inauspicious, Shubha, Shubha, I mean Tejas, Karman, and Varna quartets. So when you look at this is the field, I think, when we are talking that we should need to do science, we need to understand more and more of a Putkala Vipaki, how the body can cure itself, what are the ways we can do the complementarity, no karmas, etc. This is a very versatile, fertile field actually, because each one of them is nothing to do with Karman Shari. It is the Audaric Shari which is mortal anyway. Karman Shari is not mortal. So this is what I think we need to show more of. When now so much of blood transfusion, so much are happening, which will not be possible because these Putkala Vipakis are amenable for such kind of treatments. Bhav Vipaki and Kshetra Vipaki, the four Prakritis whose consequences are in the gati of health, etc., such as Narakayu, these are called, all the four Ayus are called Bhav Vipaki. Four Ayus, that's called Bhav Vipaki, and four Anupurvi are the Kshetra Vipaki. How the Anupurvi operate in the universe is an interesting thing. If some physicists could look at it, how the moment a soul leaves and reaches to another place, it is carried by the Kshetra Vipaki karmas. The reach without any mistake. That is what of all these karmas could be classified into four of the Hetu Vipaki. Rasa Vipaki is that Vipak is the way they give rise to fourfold Rasavali, threefold Rasavali, twofold Rasavali, or Eksana Rasavali, etc., depending on the Anubhav. And in terms of this remains to the 4, 3, 2, and 1 places of flavor, which means how they are, depending on the intensity of the passion we had, Kashai, for example, the fruits auspicious prakritis are increasingly sweet like jaggery, Moscow vada, sugar, or ambrosia. Though sinful prakritis is known to be increasingly bitter with the same certainty as lemon peel, kanjir, poison, and alahal wish. So this is what they give an example, how the same prakriti could be so much causing pain, depending the way we are commanded for it. We have ordered for it. When we earned the influx, we put a lot of passion into it. With this, I conclude my talk. Once again, I pay my obeisance to Sruta Parampara. And again, my disclaimer, again, my kshama, that for any error due to my pramat or agyan. And last but not the least, the two greats, Puja Professor Samaniji and Professor N.L. Kachara Saab, giving an opportunity. I wish I had more time to prepare. I was so busy, but so this is just a flavor of Karma Siddha. Thank you so much. Sadhu Jayagini.
Thank you, Professor Dev Kumar, for delivering two talks together. I know that your health doesn't support, but instead of that, you have given so much time for delivering the talks, and all things which you have presented are very clear, and you have presented in the light of the current situations, and also this you have correlated the scientific studies with this Karmatic Siddhant to some extent. So I would request you, if you would like to, if Professor Kachara wants to say something about the lectures.
No, I think
would request Professor Kachara.
No, it has been a very enlightening talk by Professor Dev Kumar. As usual, he always refers to the original text and then builds up his talk on that ground. And he has done so very beautifully today also. And I think the students would be very happy about his lecture. So I think we should now open the ground to students to interact with Professor Dev Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor G. And there are some questions in it. And if the time permits, we can take one by one. Okay. So there is one question regarding Vainaik Mithyatva. How Vainaik Mithyatva, does this Vainaik Mithyatva comes under Nirjara Tattva? Please clarify.
Can you repeat? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Okay, so the question is,
Ah.
in slide 5, means in a first number 10, lecture number 10 category, that slide 5, you mentioned that the
Okay.
Vinay is mentioned as a false belief. Kindly note that the Vinay is coming under Nirjara Tattva. Please clarify. So I think they are confused between Vainaik Mithyatva and Vinay. So can you give a more light on it?
Mithyatva, it is inbuilt in us from another time. I think we are talking gateways of karma, influx. I mean, the major way that has been classified, there are 363 types, but the 5 major ways. We become prey to Ekantva. We pick up one, that is it. That is the kind of thing, we had a medieval time, so much of shastras, etc. Even now, that we are, that once we have the mind, we give elements to the 9 different points of view. In Ekant is, what is it? For example, throughout the world, we say there is a creator God. No amount of discussion will be allowed actually, the point. So Ekant is in the viewpoint, the thing, just holding it, that's it. I come from this background and it is rolled that's it. I will not be like that. So there are 5 types of Midyat, Ekant, Vinay. Vinay, there are others, they will say everything is fine. So they will not get into that. Even that will not help. See, these Mithyatva are the blocking our progress in the spiritual field. So that is the idea. Vinay means you cannot be making headway into that. You have to choose. You cannot say all are winners. It is not possible. And Viprati is, of course, is opposite of what is the Dharma. And the entertaining doubts, I do not know whether Tirthankar was there or not there, whether these are true or not true. The doubting Thomas, we cannot make headway again. Of course, ignorance, it's not. Ignorance is bliss for those people who don't want to make progress, but ignorance is opposite of Gyan. So this is in nutshell, but you can read, one can read many of the books to elaborate on this point.
Thank you, Professor Ji. There is another second question is, how Avadhi Gyan is a Desghati, not the Sarvaghati?
Avadhi Gyan
is a Desghati, not the Sarvaghati.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. Avadhi Gyan is attained by, even by animals. I think there was a lecture on Komtsar, and depending on your conditioning, how disciplined you are, Avadhi Gyan arises, and it is arising because of Chayob Samik Bhav. I could not take all the 5 Bhav, Chayob Samik Bhav. So if it is Sarvaghati like Kevala Gyanavaran, we'll never get it. It is because of Avadhi Gyan, so much knowledge has been perpetuated. For example, there was an interesting one poster. Someone will ask, what is the use of Swadhyay? Do you say Swadhyay by in Swadhyay, Asankhya Sreni Nirjara hoti hai? That is, by indulging in Swadhyay, Karma Nirjara is happening in countless way. What is there? The Avadhi Gyani actually sees that. Pratyaksha Roop se dekhta hai. So we don't have to wait for a Kevala Gyani to say this. Avadhi Gyani could have that file. So Avadhi Gyani is Chatmast Avastha mein ho jayega, and it is only we need to practice it. That's why it is Deshkati. It is not Sarvakati. Yeah.
Thank you. There is another question. Explain Dhrubandhini of Nam Karma and why only this?
What is that? Nam Karma?
Yeah, Dhruva Bandhini Nam Karma. Please explain example of the Dhruva Bandhini Nam.
Yeah. So Dhrupandi Nama Karma is part and parcel of the body. The 12 Nama Karma I said, it is part of irrespective of the species. whether it is a microbe, whether it is a virus, whether it is an insect, whether it is a human being, these 12 nam karmas will always be there in their own way. That's why it is Dhruv Bandhi and Dhruv Uday, because it is part and parcel of all the shariris. Yeah, that is the point. The minimum out of the 93 nama karmas, these 12 are something without your body cannot be without them. Yeah.
And there is another question. What is the difference between Dhruv Bandhini and Ghati Karma? Are they means the same?
No, Dhruv Bandhi we discussed at very detail. Khadi Karma by nature of is just is blocking our upayog. Khadi Karma does not allow us to express freely. Dhruv Bandhi is in terms of bandhan, bondage of it. The bondage is happening continuously or ever. It's called Dhruv Bandhi. Khadi Karma is in terms of, it is in terms of the effect it is making. So Dhruv Bandhi is the other, Khadi Karma is different. The Samadhi Khadi Karma can be Dhruv Bandhi, but does not mean that is one and same, because the way we are looking at it, that is being said. Yeah.
Thank you. There is another question. Rasa Vipaki coming under a Pudgal Vipaki or independently working. So where this the Ras Vipaki is come, either it is under Pudgal Vipaki or it will work independently.
No, Ras Vipaki can express in any way. God forbid I may have a disease, I'll be really having problem in that, in my body. So it is the Anubhag Bandh which is coming into expression. Body also distract. So Rasvapaki can be attacking anywhere. It's a virus. It can do anything. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And then after there is another question is, Jene has a coding and a non-coding regions. So, okay, so has been decoded about the coding regions, but there is very little knowledge about non-coding region. Does any of Jain literature say something about it? So this one is regarding a genetic. Hello. I think we lost a professor and we are just waiting for him to join back.
Professor Dev Kumar is disconnected.
Yes. So we are just let's wait for them again. There might be some hiccups at this level, so let's wait. But meanwhile,
He has joined.
if any
Yes.
questions, you can directly post into the chat, and that's where we can take it.
Ji, did I miss any question? Because I just
Yes,
my
yes,
internet
yes, yes.
became unstable. Yeah.
Not a problem. Let me repeat. Okay, so this question is regarding a genetic science. Okay, so gene has a coding and non-coding regions. So much has been decoded about the coding region, but there is very little knowledge about non-coding region. Does any of Jain literature says about something about this? So simply they are asking, okay, does our Jain literature say about the genetic codings in any manner?
Honestly, I couldn't get you. Sorry.
So how question is when that means in a genes in our human genes or any body.
There is some echo in your thing. Can you be little away from your microphone? Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry.
Okay, so now it is pretty clear or it is still has an echo? Hello.
Yeah.
Is it pretty
Can
audible?
Samaniji can repeat his question? Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so let me
So
just.
there is question that gene has coding and non-coding regions. So much has been decoded about coding regions, but there is very little knowledge about non-coding regions. Does any of gene literature say something about it?
Oh, great.
Professor?
You're talking about the genetics part of it. Uh,
Yes.
That is what I said, I think we have not looked into that Moolagam reading has become very minimal. Of course, not all of them will be very explicit knowledge, with the idea of writing the knowledge down the years has to preserve the idea of the moksha mark, but not this part of it. And these intricate decisions about genetics, and the other thing, coding and non-coding, etc. The very fact that we have, I discussed it, Swamukh and Paramukh Udaya kind of thing. It is amenable. That is the kind of thing, it is amenable, depends on the species. For example, so much is being done in science, what we can basically list out these organisms from which these genes are being extracted and infused, etc. And so much can be thought about it. It will only be an extrapolation. How far our acharyas have given that clue is something we need to look at it. Yeah, because unless we have Avadhi Gyani, that need to read them and get more. Those genetic biotechnologists should read our agam, have an interaction, get the clue out of that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I think let's open a floor for a couple more questions. If anyone wants to ask, they can unmute themselves and ask Professor Ji.
I request our students, more than your study, go through them, expand your innovative capacity and look around, they say, so that we are able to mine out more data from our Moolagam. I think we need the students to come up. It's a continuous process. From parampara to parampara, we have to pass the baton. So I have been a very passionate teacher in my life. For me, teaching was not only just a profession, it's motivating people. So I would request you as a teacher that go beyond your syllabus and try to read for your own. And this is something about your own Bandha. And
So are you suggesting any books for that one?
No, I just already listed the books and it is available jnelibrary.com. You can, .org, you can download the PDF. Only thing would be that one should be able to read Hindi. English, only this modern generation, our students should pick it up. I had the difficulty in translating. That's why I put both the words as much as possible. So the English books of the Moolagam are yet to be made available. But one can always read the very good, excellent Hindi commentaries are available. One can do that part. Prakrit, Sanskrit, Hindi go hand in hand. You can always compare it whether Hindi translator has made any mistake by going through the original Prakrit or Sanskrit data. That's what I do. I always need to recheck it. Yeah. But for example, Sattva Sutra has been translated by many people in English. It's available. But one with Saraswati, for example, has been done by Professor S.A. Jain and from the Madurai College. It is called Reality. And Professor Mr. Vipaka Jain of Dehradun has again done. Manu Joshi has done, of course, on his own way, but not really depending on Sabhashya or Tapasu. What is important is while doing translations or books, we should not be minimalism, should not be there. We should be extracting as it is, because already the scriptures are minimal. We should not be, because then in the name of minimalism, we may lose the woods for the trees. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Ji. And there's one another question. It is in a chat. Okay, can you exemplify the Adhrubandhi karma? What do you mean by Parmukhodaya? Okay, So let me, okay, can you give any example of Adhrubandhi karma?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by Paramukhoday? Paramukhoday.
Yeah. See, there are two process happening. One is Bandhan, another is Uday. So in the Uday means rise of the karma. When it has reached the stage, when it is, in the Bandh means it has also duration of it. When the duration is complete, it will be fruiting. When the fruiting takes place, some of the karmas are not in a position to come on their own. So they pass on it to that's why I showed the Swamukh and Parmukh. It is about Uday, rising, but not Bandhan. Dhruva Bandhi, Adhruva Bandhi is respected to the Bandhi that is getting bound into the Karman Shari. Uday is with respect to that. And some of them have this, it's a very elaborate. So I only took some examples, Swamukh and Parmukh, why it happens and when does it happen, in which Gunasthan it happens, the species it happens, Jiva Samaj, etc., and where it happens. It is in Devlok, Manisha, or Hellish, etc. So much is available. We need to really tabulate and understand. Sure.
Thank you, Professor G. And is anyone has any question? Please unmute yourself and ask.
Jai Jivendra. Sir, can you specifically suggest some book?
For example, you can start with, for example, this Devendra Muniji, Upadhyay. Amazed with him, he has come out with 18 volumes of Karma Vigyan. He summarizes, and I depended on that. Then Dev Kumar Shastri from Bikaner, he has come out with Panchasankara 10 volumes. So all of them, unfortunately, they are all in Hindi. That is what in. So Komutasar, for example, you can go through. Komutasar has been 100 years back. J.L. Jaini has translated both Jeev Kant and Karma Kant. So they are also available. So it is so much. Make a beginning, you'll get a cross references. We'll be making a lot of worming through the system, get so much out of it. Yeah. Tattva Sut, Darbar Siddhi, I said, it's a fantastic opening. Amazing. Tattva Rajavartik is so amazing. It just mesmerizes one into the kind of thing. Yeah. Then Tattva Sloka Vartik is there, Acharya Vidyananji. Tattva Vritti is there by 2 Acharyas. So, so much available. I think only language barrier is Hindi. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Jivendra.
शुभ नाम कर्म के आश्रव कौन से हैं सर?
I gave the list that I can show you again. I don't know that I can share it.
Yes, sir.
I'll read it out to you.
Yes.
If not sharing again.
That.
I don't know if it will be possible to share, so I'll better read it out. There are 37.
Okay.
Either human being or celestial, they have look.
Okay.
Then it should be Panchendri Jati, apparently. It cannot be Vikalendri. And the 5 bodies. And that, along with that, nice Angopang. The symmetrical structure of the body, Samachadur Sansthan, very symmetrical.
Okay.
Then, and the fitness of it, the best is, of course, Vajra Vrishava Naraj Samhanan, which is really fitted with the Vajra and Vrishab. Pleasant color, taste, what we prefer our dress, etc. We look at the color, we look at the taste of the food, odor, the perfume, the touch, etc. Both the Anupuri. Capacity for breathing, the capacity that the respiratory system is very good. Karma, Saguru, Lagu, feeling light, night, light, heavy. Is it okay?
Yeah, ek shabd
this is
hai.
listed, yeah.
Yeah. Avi Samvad.
There are 37, the best is Karma. Yes, madam, yeah.
Ek word hai, sir. Avi Samvad. What that mean? Uska meaning kya hai?
What is that?
Avi Samvad.
Did I mention that?
No, you didn't mention it, but हमारे पढ़ने में आए सर कि शुभ नाम कर्म के आश्रव कौन से हैं, तो योग की
हाँ।
सरल and अविसंवाद. So I don't understand
Acha,
अविसंवाद.
acha, okay, madam. Oh, amazing. Thank you very much. You know that yoga vakrata
And
visamvadanam cha ashubha nama karma. Okay.
yes,
So that is visamvadan.
yes.
Unnecessarily arguing it, which is not required to do that. So avisamvadanam is the virtue. Visamvadanam is that. Yoga vakrata.
Vakrata.
Thinking one, telling another. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was not very clear for me.
And so
Thank
more, many more are the cha. The sutra uses cha means and more and many more. Yeah, right.
I think most of the questions have been taken and answered by Professor Dev Kumar.
Yes, madam.
If somebody has any question, they can ask.
Yeah. Please, I welcome most because they are going to
Yes.
challenge me to read more, to remove my ignorance, some shy. Most welcome. I always welcome.
You have very good
Let
knowledge
them take
about
time. Let them take time. 1 week, 1 month, 1 day. No problem. Better late than never.
So, anybody has any question, they can take time and can ask in next class.
Vandami Samaniji, are you still in Bombay?
Yes.
Still at Vashi only?
Then मेरा question
Yeah, still I am in
निकाचित
Mumbai
कर्म
and I have
की
sent to you the
सत्ता
address.
उदय जैसे
Please,
निकाचित कर्म का उदय
Please,
कब होता है,
ma'am.
सत्ता कब होती है और उसको उसके लिए कोई तरीका है, कर्म को उस कर्म को भोगना ही पड़ता है, तो ये सब चीजें जरा थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करिए आप.
Nikachit, you have written that Nidatta Nikachit Karma are the really kind of dead karmas, do not come for Udirna Uday. I think Professor Kachara was to cover Daskaran. I'm sure you would have done that. Though Nitatta Nikashit Karma, that can only be washed off by Jinendra Puja and Bhakti. Nothing else. That is the only thing said in that in Dhavalagran. Because they do not come up. They do not come on Uday, Udirn. That are, that's what they call transmutation. So that they do not happen. I'm sure that Nidatta Nikachit are the two karmas. So that is a very old. They just get in the store में बड़ा पीछे पड़ा रहता है, ऐसे रहते हैं. And this is the way only to is भगवान का श्री चरण से ही उनका वाश होता है. That is what. So that is more once again to say that we need to we really believe in Argat Bhakti. Yeah.
So,
ये
sir,
एक ही भाव से रिलेटेड, ये एक ही भाव से रिलेटेड है या कई भावों से?
It could be because what happens is बहुत पहले अनादि पहले हमने कर दिया, वो तो ना कुछ पहले कर्म ऐसे पड़े हो जाते हैं, they become fused like a cement or anything like that, वो निकलता नहीं, तपस्या भी निकलता नहीं. तो इसलिए एक बड़ा सा तरीका रखा हुआ because of the भगवान का चरण जैसे सुपर मैग्नेट, उनको चरण एंड उनका पूजा से ये नित्य निकाशित अदृश्य हो जाते हैं. So that's a way. Anybody who is going through to moksha marg, they go through this pancha parameshtis. We cannot think of alternate ways of that. That is what Nitya Nikashit. The mentions that point. Yeah. In fact, Jinendra Pratima, unfortunately, we have gone away from Pratima. That is so important. In there was one case, the story I like to share in Swayambhuram Sagar. There was one fish. The fish repeatedly looking at another fish, then it got Jati Smaran because in the earlier bow it was in Gujarat, Rajasthan region. It was repeatedly telling by Vandana Karo, Puja Karo, it never bothered. by repeated looking at the pictures, Akar was like a Jinabim, like it is mentioned in the beautiful way, and it could get Jati Smaran se aage hua. So Jinabimba Darshan is very powerful. Please remember it. Do not exclude it.
मम्मा पीनी चलो
So thank you, Professor Dev Kumar, for delivering
Sir,
talk
one
on karma in detail.
Latia Sahab wants to ask something. No, yes, muted it. Right. Yeah, Latia Sahab, bataiye.
yeah, sir. So that means Nikachit karma cannot be Nikachit and Niddat karma. It is said that it has to be भोगना ही पड़ता है. तो फिर if it is lying
भोगना
dormant,
नहीं
then
पड़ता सर, वो आता नहीं है, भोगना भी नहीं आता.
अच्छा.
नहीं sir, whatever my understanding is, they do not come into that. भोगने का तो तब होगा, उदय में आएगा.
हाँ sir,
तब
that is
होता ना
what.
भोगने की.
Yes sir.
हाँ नहीं, they don't come in उदय. उदय ना उदय होता नहीं, संक्रमण होता नहीं. So ऐसे पड़े रहे, जड़ है, मिट्टी जैसा पड़े हैं, but they don't go. So that is what he said. You are very right. तपस्या करके तो खत्म नहीं होता वो. That is what, yeah. That is what is written in Davla. Yeah.
So only Jin Bhakti and Jin Puja can get rid of these Nikachit and Niddat.
Jinendra Puja, Jinendra Darshan is something amazing. Pati goes to meet his Adinath Bhagwan. He gets Avadhi Gyan. Videk Chatra, another Tirthankar gets Avadhi Gyan. So, and Chai ke Samektva Sreni gets it. Jinendra ke paas jo mahima hai is something aparampar, something like that. Even very Smaran Matra say, Astam Stavastamanamasta Samasta Dosham Twasankada Vijagadam Duridani Hanti. That is what Bhaktamar says. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Dev Kumar, for giving so much time to our participants and delivering such wonderful, informative talk. We would like to listen to you next lecture. So today we are stopping here. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are very much audible. Thank you so much. आपको बार बार मैं वंदना करूं, मेरा कर्म का क्षय वो निर्जरा हो जाए, क्योंकि आप तपस्या करें, भोगे करेगा कोई, भोगेगा कोई. सो आप का धर्म करते जाइए, व्रत पालन करते जाइए, हमें फल मिलता रहेगा. It's like a fruit trees. Fruit बेचारा laden with fruits. हम लोग पैदा होता है, आप लोग महान है, सामान्य लोग जो है महान जीव है. जी महात्मा है. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
In Jain philosophy, we say that everybody has to do his own,
Hello.
what we say,
Suresh Kumar ji has some very, I think.
for earning good and yes.
Samani ji, just 1 second. One Suresh Kumar ji is, I think, is raising. Suresh ji,
Okay,
कुछ कहना है?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Hello.
yes. Yes,
Sir,
you
there
can
is
talk.
Sir, Paravartamana, Aparavartamana. In that, Jugupsa is in the both the category mentioned Jugupsa, and Soha is mixing, sir. Soha is missed out. So where it Soha it will be covered? Out of 9 Navakashaya, Paravartamana, Aparavartamana.
Yeah. I think 7 were in the Aparavartamana, and Bhaya and Jugupsa in Paravartamana. So
Jugupsa in both categories.
You know?
Jugupsa in both categories.
Yeah.
But Soga is missing, sir.
I'll check it up because 1 and 2. So it cannot be both. Let me check it up. I might have made mistake. So I'll check it up. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And another
Because
one
that
thing, sir.
aversion, we have it opens up. Fear is something, it goes on. Yeah. But I'll check it up again. It's a good point you pointed out. I'll look at it.
Okay, sir. Another one thing, sir. While discussing the no karma, I notified as the Samyak Prakriti karma and Ayush karma is positive. Is there, in your view, what are the no karma is positive? Because Samyak Prakriti,
No karma?
you said Ayatana and Arahant presence.
Yeah.
And Ayu karma
Yeah.
is giving a positive angle. So, in your point of view, what are the no karma is positive angles?
No karma for which karma?
You compare, there is one comparison statement you made, one side, right hand
No,
side
I
karma.
agree with that. Surajji, I agree with you.
Yes.
No karma is complementary to the karma.
Okay. But out of the, while looking at the comparative statement, only I feel that only the Samyak Prakriti karma and Ayush karma is look like a positive. Others are supporting the kill samsara cycle.
Yeah, basically
so in your
those
view,
karmas.
In your view, what are the positive angle of this no karma?
No karma, helps in getting rid of it. For example, if I get strength, that's what I said, if I change my place of work, my karma is in Udaya, but I get more strength out of it. So no karma is the one using the intelligence, innovation. So like I know a lot of people who are not doing well went abroad. They're doing well. Ji. Change a place, for example, even for, some people having suffering, they used to say, go leave this place, go to another place. So that is the way to use it. See, karmas are bad per se. There's nothing like good and bad karma. Karma is karma, but you are talking about relativity. But once the karma is there, I say my karma is on the Udaya, particular one. Best is true. For example, it is not a good time. I'm feeling a lot of anger within myself. Better to keep my gupti ko theek karna hai. I will not open up my mouth. I will not get into argument because it's not my time. Like that, we have to use our innovations. Yeah.
Okay, I understand, sir. But in the while looking at the comparison statement, sir, the Samyak Prakriti karma straight away it's supporting us because the Arhant is there, Ayatana presence we record like that. This is also no karma, no?
No, absolutely. Samyak Prakriti is in fact in another version is taken as Punya Karma.
Yes.
Even though it is a Khati Karma, let us not forget it is a Khati Karma, but is classified. I don't want to mention which book. It is mentioned Punya Prakriti because of this concept. It is enabling it. Yeah. But I have given only examples. These are not exhaustive, Surajji.
Yeah,
we can
sir,
search out. No, I just want to tell you, taking opportunity of your question, that these are just examples. For example, I did not say in 1 minute, Surajji, in Putkal Vipaka, there is one karmic cloud in our body called, around our body called Visrasa Upachai. So Visrasa Upachai helps us in curing ourselves. So meditation, etc. So I wanted to put a slide, but I was running short of time. So please try to go through what is Visrasopachai, which is always a cloud, karmic cloud with each of our bodies. In the other day, I said, don't hug any other person. Every person should not be hugging. Hugging is not our practice, because then I'll be exchanging Visrasopachai of that person. Hugging has not been our practice, only with relatives very close and all things. So this is some recent practice that is not. Even handshake has not been done, only namaskar. हाथ जोड़ के मुकुलित करके नमस्कार करते थे, because they were very sure of preserving the Visrasa Upachai karma. So yeah.
And this Vipaki, sir, you mentioned as 5 category, Dravya Kshetra Kala Bhava. And Bhava also you included, but is there any Bhava Vipaki? Bhava Vipaki, okay, you mentioned.
Yeah. Bhava is so important. When you go to Bhoga Bhumi, your Papa Karma gets Sankramit as Punya Karma. Okay. When the same thing happens in hell, Narak, it is way. Because पाप और पुण्य में ज्यादा विशेष नहीं है, संक्रमण हो जाता है. Even the virus getting संक्रमित हो जाता है. So पाप पुण्य हो जाता है, पुण्य पाप हो जाता है. तो भगवान के मंदिर में तेरसल में जाएंगे, पाप कर्म का असर का अनुभव कम हो जाता है. It is well known thing actually. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Suresh ji. Penetrating question. Thank you so much.
So thank you, sir, for providing so much time for answering to the all the questions.
Your
Now we
auspicious
are
presence,
Yes.
so pleasing, so much प्रज्वलित हो रहे हैं. Thank you so much, समनी जी, पूज्य समनी जी. Thank you so much. जय जिन सभी को सादर जय जिने. It has been a real pleasure. Your learning curve for me all the time. Lifelong learning is my practice. It's going on learning. As the life enhances, keep learning and learning. Thank you so much. Sadar jai jinesh to all of you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Now we are leaving. Yes.
So